What's up, guys? BC coming at you with an impromptu upload. There was no upload scheduled today, but we had to talk about this huge development, Shane McMahon and AEW. It was just a couple weeks ago that big report came out that Shane McMahon was reaching out to AEW, or at least talking to a lot of the talent to see where Tony Khan's head's at. How is it over there? Would it be a good fit? A lot of people scoffed at that report. It was reputable, but they still scoffed. Shane is just positioning himself for a bigger payday in WWE. He knows what he's doing. But if he is going to come back, it's going to be for his sister Stephanie and brother-in-law Hunter Hearst Helmsley, World Wrestling Entertainment. There's no way. And then a couple days later, after that big AEW event, Shane McMahon happens to run into Mercedes Moné at the airport. A lot of AEW talent at that airport taking off. Shane McMahon just happens to be as well. A lot of people chalk that up as a coincidence. Shane McMahon, he's a businessman. It's a New York City airport. He's running into AEW talent. Coincidence. Now, the latest report, and this looks very reputable. A report coming out that Shane McMahon had an in-person meeting with Tony Khan at an Arlington, Texas airport. Backs up the other report that he bumped into a lot of AEW talent at a New York City airport, but at an Arlington, Texas airport on July 29th. That would place that at Monday, this past Monday. So Shane was not watching Monday Night Raw. He was meeting with Tony Khan, is the report. And a photo surfaced. This, I believe, from Wrestle Talk. Put out a photo of Tony Khan. You see the little boardroom meeting there at the airport. To the far left, you see what looks to be Shane McMahon. That would back up the report with an actual photo. Shane McMahon, far left. If you zoom in on it, if you were to do a split, zoom in, if that's not Shane McMahon, then it is an identical twin long-lost brother. That is Shane McMahon. And I love Tony Khan's face, too. Like somebody had just walked in, wasn't supposed to, and Tony Khan's like looking up like, oh no, we're caught. Like he's in the bedroom with the girl and the parents came home. The look on his face. Shane McMahon just looks unbothered at all. Like, how can we help you? Shane McMahon is like, get out of here. We're having a real talk. But that is a wild photo that not only collaborates, but absolutely validates the initial reports. And I knew those initial reports, I felt it was more than just Shane positioning himself, jockeying himself for a bigger, better position in payday in WWE. He doesn't need to do that. But Shane McMahon is one of those dudes. He's had that conflict on and off with his father since the beginning. And Vincent Kennedy McMahon is basically done with the WWE. His final shares have went up for sale. To my knowledge, they have not been sold yet. But once those final shares get sold, which again is supposedly already up on the market, once that happens, Vincent Kennedy McMahon will have zero ties to WWE. It's hard to even fathom that, to conceive that notion, but that is true. Vince McMahon, any day now we could hear that those shares have been sold and Vincent Kennedy McMahon has zero ties to WWE, other than, of course, his son-in-law, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, running the joint, the operation. Now, obviously, technically, it's Endeavor, Ari Emanuel, but it's Hunter Hearst Helmsley as the main vessel. Everything goes through him. And I don't believe at all that Shane McMahon wants to go through Hunter Hearst Helmsley for anything. I never believed they saw eye to eye, Shane McMahon and Hunter. We always know there was a jockeying and a positioning with his sister Stephanie, so it's just a weird family dynamic. So Shane McMahon is turning to Tony Khan. I don't look at this as a turncoat. I don't look at him like he's selling out on his family. Shane McMahon knows he wants to at least have one more match, maybe matches with an S. But he damn sure knows he does not want to ride off into the sunset with that lasting image of him in agonizing pain at WrestleMania, leapfrogging The Miz and basically landing on one leg while Snoop Dogg has to save him. He knows damn well he does not want that to be the lasting image. So no matter what, Shane McMahon is having another match, at least one more, right? And his kids love seeing him in there. Shane loves competing and in wrestling. He doesn't have to do this. He's got plenty of money. He's already been in the ring. He's been in some epic fights with people like Kurt Angle. So I know there's a lot of fans that just don't want to see Shane McMahon, right? He's had his time. He's a part-timer. He's taking up spots. And especially when you talk AEW, it's supposed to be the opposite of what they claim to be. They're the alternative, right? They have the best wrestling in the world with Ospreay and Okada and Omega and Danielson and so many others, right? Well, if you got the best wrestling in the world, well, then you have to have the best in the world, right? That's a joke, obviously. Shane McMahon won the Best in the World tournament. I believe that was Saudi Arabia. That upset a lot of wrestling fans when he won that tournament. But Shane McMahon has always been somebody that captivates BC. Everything he does is believable. I can watch 900 wrestling matches. If Shane McMahon is one of them, he's easily the top 5 that most likely captivated me. Shane McMahon just there's always this level of uncertainty in his matches. Anything can happen, right? Because Shane McMahon is willing to do anything and everything. He doesn't care how high he's got to jump off of something. He doesn't care how far he's got to jump from. He doesn't care what he's got to go through. Shane McMahon has always had some fun matchups. When Shane McMahon's involved, I'm just always interested. Now, I know not all fans are like that, but if AEW fans are going to think this is the end of the world if Shane McMahon comes to AEW and has a couple of matches, is involved in a storyline, that is not the end of AEW. In fact, if you take a deep breath, relax, RELAX, you're going to find that Shane McMahon will help your company in a billion ways, not just in the ring or in a storyline. Behind the scenes, dude's a wealth of knowledge, actually. If I had it my way, it'd be Shane McMahon running WWE, not Hunter Hearst Helmsley. But not my decision. That's Ari Emanuel and Endeavor. But Shane McMahon is a smart dude. And if Vincent Kennedy McMahon listened to him more often over the last couple of decades, WWE would have been a lot more better off. So I know a lot of fans are going to look for the nearest cliff to jump off from, like it's the worst thing in pro wrestling that happened. Shane McMahon's coming to AEW. Guys, I don't look at this as a negative. It's a positive. If it comes to fruition, enjoy the ride. It's not going to be that long. Shane McMahon is going to have a game plan with Tony Khan if it happens. Now, you could also say they're meeting about other business ventures. It's absolutely possible, but if you think that all roads won't lead to AEW, well, that's just asinine thinking. There's no way that they're not talking shop. Shane McMahon is not going to have his last match, or at least his last appearance, be basically hobbling off with one leg while Snoop Dogg saves him. That's not going to be the lasting impression. And if the dude is set on not working for Hunter Hearst Helmsley and not going back to what his father created and nearly destroyed, if he doesn't want to do that, then he's going to go to AEW and talk with somebody who he does like, Tony Khan. It looks like there's a good relationship between the two. So that photo, guys, not only does it collaborate, but it does validate the initial reports. And this, what we're told, was in Arlington on Monday, the 29th of July. So that was literally just a couple days ago. This photo was somehow taken, and Shane McMahon was meeting with Tony Khan. So take with that info what you will, take with that photo what you will. But it just became a lot more real that Shane McMahon could wind up in Tony Khan's AEW. And if that happens, that is wild. If that happens, BC has to tune into AEW Dynamite. I can't always do that on Wednesday nights. I'm super busy, especially for some reason, Wednesday nights. But I'll make the time for it, because there's no way I'm missing Shane McMahon in WWE or AEW. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels that way. Shane McMahon will absolutely rock the boat. Shane McMahon could sway those numbers. This is a McMahon outside of WWE. The last time we saw that happen was when he purchased WCW in a storyline, but that was all under Vincent Kennedy. This would literally be the competition. That's what I got for you guys now. Until next time, and there will be that next time. BC saying check you.